G'day and welcome to another Mongrel Dog production, and welcome to this, the northernmost point of the Australian mainland, the very tip of Cape York. The wife said to me, "Steve, we've run out of milk, can you go to the shops?" I said, "Sure darling, I'll be back in a while." I think I might be in the doghouse when I get home. Grab your gear, let's go. Horrible day to start the ride. Pouring down rain earlier. I've got about 6 layers on. The last one, of course, is to keep me dry. But the rain's stopped for the moment. Hopefully that's the end of it. It's just been bucketing down here in Perth the last number of days. Had a number of storm systems roll through for the last 72 hours. I lost the back fence. Good timing. We're going to ride for a couple of hours and then get an updated road report because we wanted to take some back roads to mix it up a little. But I think those roads will still be closed. So we'll wait and see. I think we're about to get rained on again. We've just pulled over to refuel. We're going to push on. It's about 2:30 now. We're going to push on for another couple of hours and then find a bush camp, because tomorrow we may end up going bush, taking a thing called the Telegraph Track, but more on that later. So yeah, we've got to try and make up a little bit of time now, just to get us a little bit ahead of schedule. It's a lot easier to kill time than make up time. Well, we've got off the main road. We've found a track. Seems to go forever. We found a spot. I mean, it's not great, but it'll do. It's pretty close country. There's only 2 of us, so this will do, I think. Well, the rain has stopped, but of course, clear sky. Very, very cold last night. I think it got down to probably 2 or 3 degrees. That's ice on the motorcycle cover. It's bloody freezing. About to leave our bush camp. Last night was bloody cold. The rain stopped yesterday afternoon. We had clear skies, and unfortunately with the clear skies you end up getting very cold temperatures. So I heard this morning on ABC radio that it was about 1.5 degrees, locally very unpleasant. But anyway, in a few days time we'll actually be heading north, and with that will come warmer temperatures. So hopefully the next couple of days that'll be the worst of it. So yeah, today couple of 100 metres of blacktop until we get to a place called Norseman. From there we're going to do a couple of checks on road and track conditions, and we may take something called the Telegraph Track for a couple of 100 kilometres, which will just break up the routine a little, provide a bit of variety. So we'll see how we go. We'll know more in a couple of hours. Time, of course, is on a DR650, which makes light work of the snotty stuff. But of course, me being on the 1200, it's certainly more comfortable eating up those big kilometres, which is why I lean towards this bike. I don't mind putting up with a bit of misery and heartache. Overall, I do enjoy the comfort of the 1200. Alright, Great Eastern Highway. Alright, we're just leaving Norseman. Norseman, by the way, was named after a horse, or gold mining around this neck of the woods. But anyway, we're just leaving Norseman. We've got about 20 k's to go, heading south, and then we should pick up this old Telegraph Track, which will allow us to head due east towards Balladonia. It's primarily twin track from memory. I guess we'll know more shortly. Well, we're now on the Telegraph Track. I actually overshot it. It's not very distinguishable, and in fact wasn't even marked on my GPS. But anyway, we're on it now. This was obviously the original alignment for the telegraph line back in the day. So it's, you know, it's pretty straight and heads due east to Balladonia.
There are some ruins along the track, I think. Certainly signs of the old infrastructure, that is the old telegraph poles and the like. This part is in good shape, but it doesn't stay like that for long. And in fact, when they put the optic fibre cable across the country a number of years ago, they actually used this alignment to do that. Anyway, it could take us about 4 or 5 hours, I think, to get to Balladonia. Hopefully we'll be there this evening. If not, then we'll just bush camp along here somewhere. There's been a wheeled vehicle, you can tell I'm ex-army. There's been a vehicle through here recently, since the rain I think, because I just saw a couple of wheel tracks back there. In the army we used to have wheeled vehicles and tracked vehicles, you get it, yeah. Hopefully that causeway down there is dry. If it's not, it could be difficult going. It looks firm underfoot. Like I say, there's been a vehicle through here since the rain. I think Tom's decided to take the lead, probably to give me an idea on just how wet it is underfoot, because his bike's a lot lighter, and if he struggles then that's going to be a good indicator to me that, yeah, I need to be very, very careful. So he's doing the right thing by me, and taking one for the team. Here's another tip for you young grasshoppers. I mean, my tank holds 30 litres, and that's 30 kilos, the equivalent to 30 kilos, up high, which affects the centre of gravity and all that sort of stuff. So, I mean, this stretch, I think, between fuel stops was about 250 kilometres. So I never filled up my tank at Norseman. I stuck about 15 litres in it, and that should be, I think my range now is about 400 k's. You don't want to be too conservative, but don't fill your tank, especially in these sort of snotty conditions, don't fill your tank any more than you have to, because, like I say, every litre of fuel is a kilo in weight, and up high like that, it really can mean the difference between being in control and being on your side. You're transiting all the way through, are you? Well, you've come from Balladonia?
Not quite that far.
Okay. Are the conditions any worse than this?
No, there's a couple of spots like that.
Yep.
You get through fine on that.
All right, mate. Good on you. Thing is, once your tread gets choked up with mud, effectively you've got no traction. And that's how easy it can happen. Whoops. 1 second you got traction, next second you're on your ass. Jesus, can't even walk on them.
That shit's fucking treacherous, isn't it? Well, no.
Yeah, I try and avoid going on the sides if I can, because obviously the bike could be at an angle then, so I try and stick to the track even if it means going through a bit of water. That way the bike stays vertical. because if I don't, the bike will end up horizontal. What did I say about getting horizontal? That was a hard crash. Yeah, see, as soon as you get on an angle, just lose it. Jesus. Yeah, I know. That was a very hard fall. Hang on. I've got a big block knobby on the front because that's my preference, but on the back I've got a, I don't know, call it a 60-40, 60% off-road tyre, a Motos Adventurer. And the reason I'm using that tyre on the back is because I need it for the longevity. This trip's 10,000 Ks and a big block knobby wouldn't last that distance, not on the rear. So yeah, so the back tyre's not great for this sort of work, but I'm sure it'll be fine for things like the Birdsville track, the Udinadatta track, things like that. You won't be able to see it, but there's actually remnants of the old telegraph line going straight through that lake there. We're just riding into some rain. It's only light. I don't think it's going to last. I hope it doesn't last because it's the last thing we need at the moment. We've got a long way to go till we're clear of this track, and any more moisture could be hazardous. I think it's only going to be short-lived. Oop, bit of sand. This track's got everything. Another lake bed, might be a little bit more obvious, that telegraph pole there. Oh, and there's one over there, and there's another one just there, bent over. So, yeah, some of the remnants are still there. Whoopsie. That's obviously infrastructure for the optic fibre cable that they put in a few years ago. Optic fibre, hang on, is that a cable? Oh, you get the idea. I'm telling you, it's deadly. Horrible stuff. Clearly they've cropped some rain here too. The vegetation keeps changing, the landscape pretty much stays the same, but the vegetation keeps changing, and there's some of these soil types here. I mean, the last place where Tom came off, it was just goo, and even paddling through it, yeah, was tough going for me. Sometimes it's easier to go bush, but then you run the risk of staking your tyre, but yeah. Oh, jeez. Oh, fuck. Uh-oh, he stopped. That can't be good. I think my mudguards are choked up with mud. I can feel drag on the bike. Where do you go? I'm too fat for that. Just hang on, mate. I just got there's drag on the bike. I think my mud guards are chockers full of mud. Yeah, the guards get full of mud because there's no clearance, and then the front wheel will lock up. It's been known to happen. It's not like that yet, but the front wheel's choked up with mud and it just locks up. There's no clearance between the mudguard and the wheel, the tyre. Just puts a lot of drag on the bike and the engine, and in fact locks the front wheel up. Anyway, if I can get it moving soon, maybe some of the mud will dislodge. It's a common problem with these bikes with the low mudguards. Anyway, we'll get it stood up and then take it from there. Well, it's getting late in the day. We're not where we should be. Well, not where we should be, but we're not where we want it to be. We're just short of it. And I think we're both tired. It's been tough going. And if we're not careful, we're going to start making little mistakes, and they can sometimes end up being quite serious. And just to top things off, I think we're heading into some rain, which we don't want. But yeah, we've got about 17 kilometres of this track to go. I don't know that we'll get off it before we decide to pull over and camp. So yeah, we'll be just shy of our destination, which was going to be Balladonia. But I don't want to rush it. I don't want to make getting off this track the focus, because, yeah, like I say, then you start making mistakes and it just ain't worth it. We've already copped some rain here. It's greasy as. I'll just get on a solid ground, Tom. I'll just get on a solid ground. It's treacherous. My front wheel keeps locking up because there's no clearance between the mudguard and the tyre anymore. No, I'm stuck. It's tough going. Yeah, the front tyre's choked, I can tell. Welcome to the border run.